in Congress. Today's lecture looks at how those radical Republicans took over and ushered in the second phase of Reconstruction, known as Radical Reconstruction. To begin with, the Republicans had three main goals for reconstructing the South. First, they wanted to prevent former leaders of the Confederacy from returning to political power. One of the leading radical Republicans was this man, Charles Sumner. You may remember him. He was the senator from Massachusetts who was nearly beaten to death by South Carolina Congressman Preston Brooks. Do you think he may have had some hard feelings toward the South? Second, they wanted the Republican Party to become powerful in the South. And third, they wanted the federal government to take steps to ensure African Americans gained political equality. To do so, they implemented a much different plan. One of the first steps they did was to establish the Freedmen's Bureau to help former slaves adjust to freedom. The Freedmen's Bureau, which was vetoed by Andrew Johnson, helped feed and resettle former slaves, helped them find employment, and most notably, established schools for African American children and adults. Congress also passed, despite Johnson's veto, the Civil Rights Act of 1866, which made African Americans citizens and stated that they were to be treated equally. To make sure the law would not be ruled unconstitutional, Republicans introduced the 14th Amendment, which stated all persons born or naturalized in the U.S. were citizens and entitled to equal protection of the laws. In 1867, Congress, despite another presidential veto, passed the Military Reconstruction Act, which divided the South into 5 military districts occupied by federal troops. The troops enforced voting and civil rights for freedmen. In 1868, the Republicans nominated Ulysses S. Grant, who was elected president. With Grant as president and Republicans in control of Congress, African Americans in the South enjoyed a period of political equality. African Americans voted, and many were elected to state and even federal office. In 1870, the 15th Amendment was ratified, which stated that states could not deny the right to vote based on color. In addition to giving the federal government more power over the states, the 14th and 15th Amendments addressed issues of racial equality. However, women's rights activists were quick to point out that these amendments did not address the issues of gender equality. Suffrage could not be denied based on race. It did not mean that the right to vote could not be denied based on gender.